Hey, what's going on, y'all? This your boy J Sewell. Alright, man, I've been meaning to do this video for a couple of days, so I'm gonna do it now, man. A couple of days ago, man, I saw that Quentin Tarantino was at a rally, I guess speaking against police brutality. I guess it had something to do with Black Lives Matter. Yeah, I find it kind of strange. The timing couldn't be more perfect for Quentin Tarantino based off the fact that he has a movie coming out for Christmas called, I think, The Hateful Eight. So might have been a little promotion for Quentin Tarantino and also to try to, fool black people into believing that he actually cares. You got to remember sometimes when white people do stuff for black people, it isn't because they care, it's because they want something or they have a hidden agenda. And I think Quentin Tarantino has a hidden agenda. First of all, man, I cannot stand Quentin Tarantino. Don't like the guy. And I don't understand why a lot of people don't like the guy. They are easily fooled by him. And black people been getting fooled by Quentin Tarantino for years because he always seems to use his favorite house nigga, Samuel L. Jackson, to exercise his secret racism. Case in being, if you look at Quentin Tarantino, this is consistency. He has a history of consistently putting out movies where he uses derogatory remarks towards black people and Hispanics. From Reservoir Dogs to Pulp Fiction to From Dusk to Dawn. Even though he wasn't the director of that movie, I think he wrote the movie, wrote the screenplay. To Jackie Brown, to Inglorious Bastards, and to Django Unchained. If you look at Quentin Tarantino's movies, man, for some reason he is just hell bent on using the word nigger, the S word for Hispanic, and just other racial innuendos and sayings towards particularly blacks, mostly blacks. If you watch the Reservoir Dogs, you would think that, man, you would think all white people call black people niggers behind their backs, and the same thing with Django Unchained, the same thing with Pulp Fiction, if it was up to Quentin Tarantino. And of course, when they ask him why do he always put those racial slurs in his movie, he tried to say, use that typical excuse, oh, I used to watch black movies like Truck Turner and The Mac and stuff like that. So, I grew up watching those kind of movies. The typical excuse that white people try to use, just like, oh, I have a black wife and I grew up around black guys, or a white woman that grew up around black women. My best friend is black and I have a black baby daddy or some shit like that. Well, that doesn't mean shit. Just because you white don't mean that you got the right to use that word. And I hate that shit. And I hate when people try to justify by saying they got a black this or a black that still don't give you the right. Look, I grew up around Mexicans, but I know I'm black. I don't go around trying to speak Spanish or trying to sing mariachi. I know that I'm black, and I'm proud of being black. I have some Asian friends, okay? Just because I eat at a Chinese restaurant don't mean that I want to change my name to Wong Lee or something like that. I get kind of tired of hearing that shit. Oh, I listen to rap music. So motherfucking what? That don't make you black. You just listen to hip hop. That's why I can't stand people like on this YouTube shit like Shady Slim, motherfucker trying to act like he black and he not. He a punk ass white boy, and it's that simple. But anyway, Getting back to Quentin Tarantino. One of the particular scenes that really like kind of made me raise my eyebrow to him was in Pulp Fiction. You know, the character where John Travolta accidentally shoots the black guy, it figures, in the head. You know, and then they take him to the character played by Quentin Tarantino. Now, instead of him saying, does this look like the dead black guy or the just dead brother storage, he says nigger. And he says that like at least 4 times in that particular scene. Now, keep in mind, this is supposed to be your friend, but you calling them a nigger. So that whole scene didn't make any kind of sense. And you know, for years, Samuel L. Jackson have always been Quentin Tarantino's house nigga, his coon, to justify him putting all those racial slurs in his movies. Just like in Jackie Brown. He wrote a whole bunch of N-word prefaces and sayings in that movie. Django Unchained, he used that word unlimitedly, you know. But of course, he tried to say, well, that's how people talk back then, you know. And then people was fooled by the whole premise of this black guy going around killing white people. Yeah, people were like, yeah, he getting even. But look at the premise of that movie. You had the villain Samuel L. Jackson playing this Uncle Tom sellout, which he is in real life, self-hating black man, you know, self-hating black man who hated black people, and he was a proud house nigger, talking about this candy land and all that stuff. But everybody was fooled by the fact that Jamie Foxx was going around killing his white oppressors and all that, trying to get his wife back. But you look at the subliminal message where all the white characters was just openly saying nigger just throughout the film. Of course, he gonna say, well, that's how they talk in the modern day. Back in that modern day in the 1800s. Okay, well, what's your excuse for Pulp Fiction? You know, what's your excuse for Pulp Fiction? That was supposed to be modern day. So that's what white people say about black people. They call them niggers when they ain't looking, when they ain't around. What about Jackie Brown? That was supposed to been, I think, made in 1998. Okay. Like I said, this dude got a history of doing this, man. Of putting these racial slurs in his films. And then using Samuel L. Jackson as his coon to justify it. It's a shame that people ain't peeped this out about him, but luckily for me, I was smart enough to peep this out. Because like I said, he has a pattern of doing this. Go look at his movies. This movie that he got coming out in December called The Hateful Eight is like some cowboy movie that take place, I guess, in the 1800s, early 1900s. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be some kind of racial slur towards black people. I'm sure there's going to be a few N-words in there. And it's funny, Quentin Tarantino gets off saying that. To me, he don't have that right. I mean, he just don't have that right. He always does that. Why do you feel it's necessary to refer to black people as niggers and say that word in damn near every movie you put out? I mean, good grief. You get off saying that. And then the problem is you think you slick. And you've been doing this shit for over 20 years. In all your movies, you have some kind of racial slur towards blacks. You have some towards Hispanics, but damn near all your movies have some kind of nigger this, nigger that, nigger this, nigger that. It's a pattern. And with me, homie, you ain't gonna get away with that. Oh, I watch black movie shit. Crock of shit. You are not going to get away with that. So it's just like, give me a fucking break, man. I mean, you don't have nobody fooled but yourself. And I want whoever to watch this video to peep it out. Go see for yourself. See, I told you, man, I just don't talk boxing, man. I like to talk about this kind of shit, man, because somebody need to ask Quentin Tarantino, why you always putting N-word references in your movies, man? It seemed like every fucking movie got some kind of racial slur towards blacks. But you claim to like blacks so much. But you always putting that shit in your movies. And Samuel L. Jackson ain't nothing but a fucking sellout, man. And he tried to justify it. And first of all, and I'm going to say this to black people that talk that bullshit. Well, if we, it's being hypocritical. We call each other niggas, but then we get mad. First of all, a white person should never call no black person a nigger. And if a black person try to come with that fake ass bullshit, oh, well, we do it to each other, but you just a coward. It's just weak, man. And I asked a white person, why would you want to call somebody a nigger? And see, me, the thing with me, that's why I don't use that word around white people when I see them coming. Because I don't call white people niggas. Because if you call white people niggas, then they gonna think it's okay for you to call, they gonna think it's okay for them to call you a nigga. And see, you better not do it with me, because I'll punch you in your motherfucking face straight up. Because I don't play that shit. But getting back to Quentin Tarantino, that's why I can't stand that dude. He got away with that. He got away with that for years. And a couple of people then called him on that. But like I say, he has his token nigga Samuel L. Jackson try to defend him for that shit. But like I say, man, he don't have me fooled, man. Straight up, man. But anyway, man, I just wanted to put that out there, man. I just seen Quentin Tarantino online, and I just wanted to put that out there. Why I don't like that guy. But anyway, man, I'm out.